taking you places we thought we would never go. I want to start the program off by saluting the Jaguars general manager for addressing the biggest problem on this team. That is the offensive line, particularly center, going out and getting Mitch Morse. I love it. I mean, first of all, I'm a little numb. I thought they were going to walk Luke Fortner back out there. I really did. And, there are some scouts right now are out at Oregon State. Tomorrow they'll be at Oregon, where the Jackson Powers Johnson kid will have his pro day tomorrow. He's the one forever that I've said I want Jacksonville to take at number 17. I got to believe the chances of that happening now are very slim. Although in 2025, it's basically a 2-year deal for Morris, and we know that Luke Fortner will be coming off his rookie deal in 2025. So, crazier things have happened, albeit it'd be a major surprise for me if that's where Jacksonville's going. Got to believe now it's all about cornerback. That's the one position they've yet to address. But I love the fact that Bulky got on this. The Morse cut came in last week. He was able to get ahead of it. You didn't have to wait until the legal tampering time, which obviously was earlier this morning. And it was really a plentiful center class. There were 5 or 6 quality centers that were out there that obviously would be marked improvement over what you've had here the last couple of years with Luke Fortner. 30th year of football coming to Jacksonville. Center's been kind of just something that you don't spend a lot of time thinking about within this organization with Dave Weidel, Brad Meester, and Brandon Linder. It's always been good or very good. How does that sound? Good or very good? And there's always so many other directions, so many other places you got to go. Center's never really been an issue around here until the last couple of years. So I love this. The Mitch Morse signed today. To me, that is the best signing of this class. And I'm not crazy about the rest of what they've done. Restructuring Brandon Sheriff. I know it saved $5 million, voidable years. There's going to be some future dead cap money, okay? Every team has to deal with that. They believe if he could stay healthy, he's their best bet for the 2024 season at right guard, okay? Ezra Cleveland. Honestly, I saw nothing out of him, but he only played 5 games. And he wasn't 100%. A lot of thought went into this. Phil Rauscher worked with him in Minnesota. They paid him some good money. They have to believe that he is the best player at left guard. Again, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. But the focus is there. They went after it. It appears that nothing's going to happen here with Cam Robinson unless there was some sort of a shock trade, right? A couple people have already asked me, hey, Ballou, can you move Cam Robinson in a draft pick and you get T. Higgins? I don't know. I don't know what's going on as far as trade rumors. I see one right here now that involves Brian Burns and Carolina, possibly on the move to New York. So, there's a lot of different stuff that's out there. Oh, by the way, nothing as of yet on Calvin Ridley, a guy that we thought would certainly be pursued. I would have thought he would have gone before, let's say, Gabe Davis, who now comes to Jacksonville. 3 years, $39 million. Okay, you're talking about a guy who's 6'2", 210, not a burner. I went back and looked at his 40, went back and studied his basically his combine and his scouting report. Ran a 4.54 while a member of the Buffalo Bills. The best part of him is his average per, 16.7 yards per catch. The problem, he only missed 1 game in 40 years. And the most receptions he ever had in a season was 48. That was in 2022. The most yards he ever had in a season was 836. He did have 27 touchdowns in his career. But if you look at him, 35, 35, 48, and 45. So with a good quarterback in a good football team, and obviously in Buffalo there are other weapons, I get it, but this is not a number one. He may not even be a number two. What is Gabe Davis? Jacksonville right now, I think many would tell you they don't have a wide receiver one. I would disagree with that. I think Christian Kirk proved that he is a wide receiver one. All right, even though he's a slot guy, even though he's not on the outside, he's just so durable. He's just so reliable outside of that drop in the divisional round of the playoffs a couple of years ago. I think we saw it. When Kirk went out, what happened to this team? When Zay Jones went out, Calvin Ridley unable to really pick up the slack. Many would say, or most would say, Calvin Ridley was the number one on this team. My eyes didn't see that. My eyes said Christian Kirk is a number one. And if he's not a number one, you want to argue at that point, that's fine. Why don't we do it this way, okay? Christian Kirk's a 1.5. Zay Jones is what? A 3? Gabe Davis is what? A 3? I mean, he was a 2 in Buffalo, but 48 receptions is the most he's ever had. He played down the road, okay? So he's going to love coming back here to Duval. It may end up working out. We will see, but a little bit surprised by this. $39 million to Gabe Davis, a 3-year contract after playing his first 4 years in Buffalo. At least they're active today. So they address center. They address wide receiver. Moments ago, they addressed their return game. All right? A little surprised. I thought Parker Washington was someone that they would, kind of groom for that job, although he was a heart attack watching him try to return punts. That was scary. There were times I was like, oh, my gosh. I mean, it reminded me of like Jim Rice trying to catch or Manny Ramirez trying to catch a fly ball out in left field. So maybe they saw all they needed to see with Parker Washington, and they're like, no. Yeah, I know he did it at Penn State, but we need someone. And they went out and they did it with Jamal Agnew. Well, they do it now with Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay, 26 years of age, 5'11", 200 pounds. Okay, $8.5 million over 2 years, according to his agent. Could be a situation where he makes up to $12.5 million, based on incentives. And 13 games a year ago, only returned 9 kicks. Right? The kicking game's gone. That's what's so amazing about this. When you spend money on a return man, you should basically just say you're spending money on a punt returner. This guy returned 9 kicks in 13 games. He did return 23 punts, 290 yards, an average of 12.6 per. Had a 70-yarder where, unfortunately, he was knocked out of bounds by the punter. I have a feeling they had a little bit of fun with him there. But he's a third-rounder out of Texas. And, just exploring his numbers, it reminds me a tiny bit of Agnew when he came over from Detroit. I mean, this guy caught 37 footballs in 2022. Folks, that's 7 less than Gabe Davis, okay? And there's no mention at all about Duvernay as being a wide receiver, right? He's only 5'11", so obviously he's a slot guy, and they've got smaller wide receivers with the backup in Parker Washington and what they have there with Christian Kirk. But for him, it's all about being able to return the football. 69 career punts, an average of, I tell you what, 69 career punts in his career in 4 years. And the kicking game, as we said, the kick return game is for the most part left. But this is somewhat of a surprise move again today by Trent Baalke. I think it's a good move. You got yourself a punt return man that you obviously do like. The biggest surprise for me was Darnell Savage. And Aaron Beasley is going to join me here in about 15 minutes. Looking forward to talking with Aaron Beasley. We've spoken quite a bit as of late about the Jaguars, particularly their secondary. They needed someone to replace Rayshon Jenkins. The feeling was Antonio Johnson. And JJ and I were talking about this last week. There's a lot of hope for Antonio Johnson, right? A 5th-round pick, a guy who suffered a hamstring early in camp. He played nickel And the assumption was, okay, he's an in-the-box safety. You have Andre Cisco in the final year of his contract. You can plug in Antonio Johnson, and everything is going to be fine, right? Wrong. Obviously, they didn't see it that way. And I want to credit them for seeing this, the foresight to see this. Instead of just trying to force something, they obviously right now think Antonio Johnson is still a better nickel coverage guy than they do believe a big safety. Now, maybe there can be a scenario where he works at both. He gets playing time at both. But I think right out of the gate, you're talking about a guy here now in Savage with 69 career starts in Green Bay. He's only 26 years of age, and he signs a 3-year contract. I mean, for crying out loud, Cisco is gone at the end of the year if they don't re-sign him. And hopefully they do. But with Rayshon Jenkins gone, Cisco in the final year, your backups were Andrew Wingard and Daniel Thomas. They just brought Thomas back 2 years, $4 million. Only 14 defensive snaps a year ago for Daniel Thomas. He's a gunner. He's very valuable on special teams. But Darnell Savage all of a sudden is a guy who could be here for 2 years, maybe 3 years of that entire contract. $21 million, 12.5 guaranteed. So, yeah, I like it. I like the signing here of Darnell Savage. Again, I had to go back and really look him up before the show today. Didn't know an awful lot about Savage, but there you have it. I mean, those are the moves that the Jaguars have made. And I think overall it ends up being a really good day for this organization, filling in some serious holes. All right, where does that leave Jacksonville? First of all, the whole kicker deal here is crazy. All right, the Will Lutz situation, apparently he signed a 3-year contract earlier today, or maybe it was a verbal contract. Again, nothing is binding until the league year begins on Wednesday, but we were told it was a 3-year deal for Will Lutz. He would be the guy who would replace Brandon McManus. And now we're told, he's going back to Denver. So he thought about it, changed his mind. I mean, this has high school, going to college signing day type of vibes to it. Very rarely does something like this happen. A couple of years ago, was it Woods? Who was the big defensive tackle? Was it Al Woods? That sounds right. I know I had him on the radio. He said he's a farmer when he's not playing football, but I believe that was the COVID year. And he was going to come here, and then he changed his mind throughout that particular process. So stuff like this has happened before. But this was an interesting one today involved with Will Lutz. Yeah, for those of you who maybe heard or were listening earlier today to the radio station that Will Lutz was in as your kicker, he has changed. In the last 45 minutes, he has announced that instead he will make his way back to Denver. All right, so 641-1010, always the best way for you to get a hold of us on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll take a look at everything this team has done so far today. I still think a trade is coming. I'm trying to figure out where. I think it would be one of two guys. That would be Cam or Walker Little. I think I'd be very surprised right now if they moved Cam Robinson unless they got a tremendous offer. It would have to be a guy like T. Higgins. I don't know how they can afford that. I guess by moving Cam, the money would be slightly the same. But do you want to bring in a guy like Higgins on a franchise tag? He's not going to show up. You're going to have to extend that contract. I don't have the latest figures. Nothing is updated, again, until the league year begins on Wednesday. So at my last look, let me find it here. Jacksonville, $16,333,000 under the salary cap. That is the latest that I have. It does include Mitch Morse, but it does not include Darnell Savage. It does not include Devin Duvernay. It does not include Gabe Davis. So I have to imagine that they're pretty tapped out. Now, the good thing about signing these guys, you give them a big signing bonus. That first-year cap hit is not going to end up being as significant. But still, I don't know what the overall number is going to be. And remember, they're going to need $9 to $10 million or so for this year's rookie draft class. That is going to have to come into play as well. Does that mean that they still can't make another move? Absolutely, it doesn't. Okay? You could restructure Christian Kirk's contract. You could restructure Foye Oluwakan's contract. If Cam Robinson is still a part of this football team with the cap figure that he's bringing with him at $21.9 million this year, they could restructure the contract of Cam Robinson. So there's still plenty of ways to create some cash here. What I was kind of hoping was that they would make a big splash today, have a solid draft, and then you could restructure some of these contracts around June 1st and hopefully get a couple of these future deals done, whether it is Andre Sisco or Tyson Campbell. Without any question, you've still got to get together with Josh Allen and try to get a long-term contract done with him. So I think that's the second phase in all of this, and I still believe that there's a really good chance that that will happen. But right now, they're continuously working throughout free agency, and we're going to keep you updated on everything that is happening today as far as that is concerned. All right, let me check right here. I got the very latest as they come in. I mean, they're coming in from all over the place. Carlton Davis now traded from the Bucs to the Lions. How about Gardner Minshew? He just got a 2-year, $25 million deal in Las Vegas. Congratulations to Gardner Minshew. How about the quarterback carousel? Minshew to Vegas. Baker, $100 million, stays in Tampa. Kirk Cousins got like $1 billion to go to Atlanta. It's like the greatest contract I have ever seen. This man tore his right Achilles in mid-October. Kirk Cousins is kind of like Matt Ryan. Kirk Cousins is a guy who's going to line up, throw for 4,000 yards, 30-some-odd touchdowns. But that's what you got to ask yourself when you get a quarterback. Is this quarterback going to be able to take you to the Super Bowl? Is this quarterback going to be able to win you a Super Bowl? You spent $150 million or whatever it was on Kirk Cousins. Is he going to take Atlanta to the Super Bowl? Is Baker Mayfield going to take Tampa to the Super Bowl? Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh? All right, well, if you didn't have a foolish offensive play call, Russell Wilson would have won 2 Super Bowls in Seattle. Of course, he won one, lost the other to the New England Patriots. But Wilson to Pittsburgh, Cousins to Atlanta, Mayfield to Tampa, Gardner Minshew. Congratulations to him. $25 million over 2 years, man. I mean, that's it. He's set for the rest of his life. Not as though that means anything at this point, because Gardner obviously is going to have an opportunity post-football. No matter what it is, he's an interesting dude, and I think there's going to be, a market for him to do all sorts of different things, whether it's broadcasting or coaching or any other field. I don't know. But $25 million, that's impressive today for the former Jaguar. All right, opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. All right, family organization. They focus on personal, high-quality medical and surgical eye care. So important. It really is. Yeah, an eye examination, yes. Get yourself an update on contacts and glasses. Always important there. But what about if there's a real problem, okay? Spotting in your eyes, blurry vision. You just know that something is going on. Time to set up an appointment with the good folks over at Shmunez, because it's a practice that's based on family. And the best way to describe that to you is Dr. Neil Shmunez has performed eye surgery on Dr. Catherine Shmunez. Dr. Catherine Shmunez has performed eye surgery on Dr. Neil Shmunez. They do it to one another, okay? If that's not trust, I don't know what it is. So, fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, all refractive surgery, the Shmunezes. We're talking about more than 30-plus years in laser eye surgery. Imagine having laser eye surgery. I got a good photo today from my buddy, Dr. Michael Shinatri, who's out in Mexico. He hauled in a huge marlin. Okay, he said it was an arm burner. Took him an hour or so to wheel this bad boy in. He had laser surgery at Shmunez a few months ago. He swears by it. It's totally changed his life. He's a young dude. Yeah, could have gone for a back crack before the players this week, but he's on vacation. His eyes are perfect, though, and I want your eyes to be the same. I want them to be 20/20. So check him out. Just go to Shmunez Vision online. That is Shmunez Vision. All right, JJ LaSelva is in. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Yeah? Anything big planned? It was just kind of getting your bearings back after the vacay? Or?
Yeah, I did a lot of sleeping, and I'm finally feeling back on a regular schedule.
All right, we're fired up. Guess who's coming up? Our buddy Aaron Beasley. Get his opinion on the Jaguars and what they have done. I didn't even mention the trade of Mac Jones. That one got me. I'll be honest there. That was a little bit of a surprise, but nonetheless, that took place as well. So let's bring in the former Jaguar. Aaron Beasley's up next. He joins Rick Ballou.
What is this?
1010XL. It's on.
1010XL.
It's always on.
Who are you? Jacksonville Sports Radio.
It's what we do.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. Growing up at the beach, I know good shrimp and oysters when I see them. They're local and they're fresh. That's why Mayport CNC Fisheries is my go-to for both. They have local shrimp in stock 7 days a week. Eat like a local at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Is your roof showing signs of wear and tear? Call Universal Roof and Contracting today to schedule your complimentary roof inspection. Right now, get $200 off your roof replacement plus flexible financing. And as a bonus, receive free wind mitigation with a full roof replacement. This offer expires March 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Chicken here. You know at Zero Res, they love rugs. Fine oil rugs need to be cleaned with the right equipment and careful training. My guy at Zero Res, Gerard, is a certified master rug cleaner and has been cleaning rugs for more than 5 years. Don't trust your fine rugs to anyone. Call Zero Res right now. They are offering a BOGO on rug cleaning. Have Zero Res clean one rug, get a second rug for free. What a great time to get your rugs cleaned. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com. He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. If you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Cooler weather is here, so call Hardball and let us put your company logo on some beanie caps. Think about it. Stylish, pom-pom on top, adorable.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors, and with great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? How about scheduling a free consultation or just stop by the Pella showroom right there on Phillips Highway next to Tesla? Pella's professional consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. From simple projects to complex renovations, their team has the experience needed to make your project a success. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
And that guest is the Killer Bees, Aaron Beasley. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Aaron, always a pleasure, young man.
What's up, golf buddy?
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Rick Ballou?
And golf has been fun as of late.
Man.
Probably healthier when we play during the week, so I'm not getting after it a little bit. But that's another story for another time. Your thoughts? The Jaguars, day one of free agency. Does anything stand out for you, Aaron?
Oh, man. I think one thing is we got better. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we got better adding stability at the center position, which was a big question mark. Having Cleveland and Mitch right next to each other.
Yeah.
I like that because, to me, offensive line is the most important part of every team. And that's coming from a corner.
Yeah. Right. They address, I mean, you and I have spoken about this more off-air than on-air. I don't agree with what they've done here. I love the Moore signing, but I wouldn't have brought back Sheriff. I don't know if I would have re-signed Cleveland. But regardless of my opinion, they were devoted to bringing back this offensive line outside of the center position. What does that say to you about what they've done, and what did I miss by watching this a year ago?
I just think in today's game, having the continuity and playing as a unit is more important than bringing some new guy in because, when you're watching this combine, you see these defensive players and what they're bringing and the way these coordinators are scheming. I mean, these guys they're scheming for rookies to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you have veterans that can play together as a unit for 2 or 3 years, like when you see the best teams right now that are playing in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Eagles, even though they had a bad season, their O-line, you just look at the O-lines. They've been together for a long time.
Yeah. And Jacksonville has made these moves, restructuring the deal with Sheriff, bringing back Cleveland, and, of course, all this talk that Cam Robinson was going to be moved and become a salary cap casualty. It appears he is still going to be the left tackle of this football team. They do add Mitch Morse as a center. All right, what do you know about Gabe Davis? Were you surprised by this move? 3 years, $39 million for Gabe Davis.
Well, I don't look at the numbers per se, because now everything is market value.
Right.
So I can't go back to when I played because everything is skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at stability, I look at consistency, and I feel like he can bring that. He was overshadowed because Diggs and they use all of their weapons, but I feel like he's one of them guys that can get you 900 to 1,000 yards consistently for 3 years. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And he's a Florida guy. He went to UCF,
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes, bringing some hometown cooking is good. He wants to play in front of his people. He's going to ball out.
Yeah. Wait, so are they set now? With Kirk, Davis, Zay, Parker, Washington, maybe they address it. Is this something, Aaron, that you believe they've they've got to take care of in the first, second, or third round of the draft as well?
I mean, this receiver core is so deep that I feel like they can just sit where they are. And, I mean, I feel like if we're going to stay with that offensive line, we either go corner or we go receiver. I mean, because even if you go late in the first round, you got 6'7", 230 guy from Florida State. You got 6'4", 200-pound guy from Texas. They ran a 4.33. I mean, you got guys. I feel like Johnny Wilson could be the next Mike Evans. Look at him, 6'7", 230, ran the same 40 time. I mean, you got that in the end zone with Gabe and Kirk. I mean, that would look pretty good, if you ask me.
Aaron Beasley, our guest, former Jaguar, going into the night here with Rick Ballou. You and I, from the golf course from the 19th hole, were watching the wide receivers run at the combine, and we were talking about a big-bodied wide receiver. You just mentioned a few. That's something that Trevor had at Clemson. He had that his entire career. Gabe Davis is 6'2", but I would love to see them get a 6'3.5", 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver. I think that would make Trevor Lawrence that much more effective.
Yeah, I mean, the way he throws the ball, you get a guy with a catch radius. I mean, I only skipped over the receiver from LSU because I think he's going to move up and we're not going to be able to get him.
Yeah.
Was Brian Johnson?
Turner? Yeah.
Brian, I mean, from LSU, that guy, he's 4'3" all day. And I just feel like getting a big body is something that we could really use out there. I mean, somebody that could, like, get off the line of scrimmage, body some guys up because, I mean, we got 6-foot corners in our division. I mean, the Colts just signed somebody 6-foot corner, you know what I mean? So we need some big guys that can body.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That can block, you know, blocking nowadays with that zone run that we have. I'm telling you, man, I'm kind of stuck on Johnny Wilson, man. That dude is big and physical, man.
Yeah, and, he improved drastically. He really didn't do a lot at Arizona State. Yeah, he improved under Mike Norvell in a couple of years, but he's really not even he's not near the first round. I mean, he's like a second-round, third-round type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's what they say. That's what they say about all of them.
Hey,
until they get on the field, and who knows?
Yes. Let's wrap it up with Darnell Savage. This, to me, was the big surprise today. I didn't see this coming. 69 games as a starter in Green Bay, can play both safety positions. What were your thoughts when you saw this signing?
I mean, it's a need, and I feel that it's a need with, I know we got rid of Jenkins, but I feel like Savage brings more speed, more acceleration that we need in this game. And I just feel like he brings a little more hammer back there, I just see his acceleration, and he makes a lot of plays back there. So I feel like some interceptions are coming with that secondary. And that's the thing, we can go corner in the secondary in the draft as well, So something that'll, shore up that defense with that pass rush, man, something's going to be good next year.
By the way, it is Brian Thomas. I don't know if you said Thomas.
Brian Thomas, yes, Brian Thomas.
I may have made a mistake. I already forgot. Hey, Antonio Johnson, I thought he was going to be the safety, and now I guess he will remain the nickel. But did this say to you as well that they didn't have faith in him being the safety, or Savage was just a good football player that they thought that they could add? Because that's the first thing that came to mind, is that Johnson last year, when he finally got an opportunity to play, was a nickel, but all the talk up until this signing was that he was going to go play safety.
I just think today's game, having depth, first of all, is important, and at the same time having versatility. Johnson's a bigger body that can move and play some good zone coverages in there. I mean, he can blitz off of that edge at the same time. So I feel like we can use these three safeties that we have in different situations where we can disguise our coverages and it all looks the same. Because they all can kind of do the same thing, and it would be very good to disguise with stuff like that.
This just came in right now. The Giants are going to get Brian Burns from the Panthers, and Burns is signing a 5-year, $150 million deal to play for the New York Giants.
that pass rush is going to be crazy.
Going to be nuts this year in New York. It's a crazy day. We'll see what happens. We still don't know about Calvin Ridley and if the Jags are going to make any more moves, but it's been a busy day so far, no doubt about it. Aaron Beasley, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man. Nice talking to you, Rick. Talk to you, bro.
There he goes. Killer Bees, Aaron Beasley, giving us his thoughts on what the Jaguars have done. $150 million for Brian Burns. Wow. That's big money. That is enormous money. It's been a crazy day, to say the least. Let's see. Anything else that happened while I was actually on the air? Leonard Floyd's going to the 49ers. Isaiah Oliver is going to the New York Jets. Juwan Jennings has been tendered in San Francisco. So more and more moves are coming in. You know, Jacksonville made a few other moves as well. If you didn't hear, they retained Blake Hance, who's, you know, more of your special teams type of guy, and he's a backup. But they made that move a little bit earlier. Also, they went out and re-signed Jeremiah Ledbetter, a 7-year veteran who did play well in spurts last year for Jacksonville. That's another position right now, if you really analyze the depth chart, they certainly need one or two more players on that defensive line. Hopefully get a little bit of competition. I mean, free agency's still here, but if I'm just looking at where this football team is and what they're going to have to do in, 44 days, I think is when the NFL draft, a corner, a defensive tackle, a wide receiver. That would probably be the three positions that I would look at right now. Now, obviously, I've always been about the offensive line. I don't care where you are and what the situation is. If you get an offensive lineman, that's important as well. I asked Trent Baalke during his season-ending press conference, and I knew I wasn't going to get a long-winded answer, but I asked anyway, if he would change his way of thinking this year during free agency and the draft compared to other years. And I rounded out my question by saying, because I'm under the impression that he's on the hot seat. Looks to me like that's exactly what he's doing. He's not releasing these players. He's trying to win now. He's trying to win this year. The dead cap money in the future is going to be massive. It doesn't matter. He's keeping Cam. He kept Sheriff. He's keeping Zay. He brought back Cleveland. He's making moves, it feels like, to try to win this year. He's not bringing in just bodies that can maybe win a spot here, win a spot there. He's bringing in guys that he's going to plug and play. He brought in 2 starters. He brought in 3 starters today. He brought in Gabe Davis, Mitch Morse, and he brought in Darnell Savage. That's 3 starters today, okay? How many starters is he going to get in those 44 days at the NFL draft? How many can you get? You got to get a corner, right? You have to get a corner. Who's your starting corner right now outside of Tyson Campbell? So you're going to have to address that. I think, again, they're going to get a big body in the interior defensive line. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get themselves a wide receiver, a young one. Because you look at that offensive line, honestly, and this is what I mean about building to win this year. After this year, Sheriff could be gone. Cam Robinson could be gone. All right? The other 3 are set. You'll have the 3rd year of the rookie contract for Anton Harrison. Mitch Morris signed a 2-year deal, so he's going to play in 2024 and 2025. And then Ezra Cleveland's in for 3 years. We live out the full, the entire life expectancy of that contract, or is he 2 years and then he's down there? I don't know. But I admire, and you as a Jag fan, you've been told to be patient your entire life. Feels like that's what he's trying to do. Win this year. And I don't know if I described that right. You try to win every year. But last year they kind of rested on everything. They had no money. And, the way they handled the draft, you look at it now, it was kind of like, what exactly were they doing? They didn't bring in starters. outside of Anton Harrison. Now, all of a sudden, in year 2, you could add another starter to that mix, at least a nickel starter in Antonio Johnson. All right, let's grab some of your thoughts on this. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That is the text line if you would like to get on in. Thank you to Patriot Roofing Services. They help produce the program or help promote it each and every night, and we love having them on with us, whether it is your home or business, whether you need a new roof or your current roof needs repair. Gutters, sun tubes, skylights, 10-year workmanship warranty, financing available. Give my buddy Mark Tizzolo a call, 982-4052, hanging out down in Daytona, Bike Week. Yeah, give him a call, 982-4052. Mark Tizzolo and Patriot Roofing Services. Folks, the best part about this, no subcontractors. Everything is directly with Mark. Licensed and insured, 10-year workmanship warranty. Financing is available. Discounts for military and senior citizens. Just check them out online. Go to Patriot Roofing. All types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs. That's Patriot Roofing Services. When we come back, much more on free agency. Let's grab your thoughts on this. How's your day in Duval? You happy with this? I mean, I would think you are. I can sense a little bit of disappointment maybe on Ridley. Okay, but they addressed the biggest need. They got themselves a center. Your thoughts, 641-1010 on the text line. Again, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Play 1010XL Fantasy Golf at the Players.
What a week.
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. If your golfers score the lowest at TPC Sawgrass, win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Enter at 1010XL.com.
Hey there, Jacksonville. With scorching temperatures just around the corner, it's crucial to ensure your AC is blowing nice and cool. Duck Duck Air Conditioning is here to keep you comfortable all summer long. But don't wait until the heat gets here. Our service techs are ready right now to handle any cooling issues you may have at your home or business. Call Duck Duck AC today at 904-862-6769 to schedule. That's 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Online at duckduckac.com.
There are trucks, and then there's the truck, the GMC Sierra. Frank Frangie here, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. Nimnik Buick GMC has the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in the area. This month, save up to $10,000 off new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 2.9% financing. Head to Nimnik today. GMC, we are professional grade.
Have you been dreaming of enhancing your living space with top quality custom windows and doors? Make that dream a reality with Renewal by Andersen. And right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 11, 1941, Hall of Famer Bronco Nagurski regains the World Wrestling title from Ray Steele after losing a year prior.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, office is Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
If you're getting engaged and want to spend way more than you should on a diamond, go ahead and shop the big chain diamond store. They love taking your money. But if you want the lowest price guaranteed, shop Beard's Diamonds.
Right now, get 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Hacker here, and after my announcement of starting Awaken 180 weight loss, everyone is asking me about it. So I'll update you. After just 2 weeks, I'm already down 25 pounds. 25 pounds in 2 weeks. And to be more detailed, I actually dropped 32 pounds of fat, but I've gained 7 pounds of muscle. Not because I'm working out with Awaken 180, but because I'm more active, walking more, and playing longer with my son. Little hack. All the rewards I thought would take months to achieve, I'm seeing after only 2 weeks. Am I starving myself? Definitely not. You think this guy would choose a calorie-counting diet? I'm eating to lose weight with Awaken 180, and my results speak for themselves. It's been simple. My coach lays out the plan, we make adjustments, and every week the weight falls off. No pills, no injections. I'm doing it the right way. Do what Mike, Matt, and I did and make the call to Awaken 180. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including active armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
The First Coast Games is an annual corporate challenge to introduce fun activities into the workplace and focus on your employees' health and wellness goals, with some friendly competition, of course. Registration is now open through the First Coast YMCA for both recreational and challenge divisions, including pickleball, cornhole, volleyball, flag football, and other team sports. The games will begin in March. Register your company and teams at fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, I was talking about the flip. Will Lutz, who was a Jaguar for mere moments and then elected to go to Denver, back to Denver. I mentioned the word Al Woods. Our listeners, as always, on top of it, 641-1010 on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Al Woods sat out because of COVID and then never returned. It was actually Tyson Alu, who was going to leave Pittsburgh, was going to come back to Jacksonville, and then elected to go back to Pittsburgh. So I appreciate the input there. There was a time when Tyson Alu was the first pick of the Jaguars. I remember it was the Tebow year, and I did a show with Tyson Alu, and I said it's Tyson Alu on with Rick Ballou, and I thought it was pretty good. But that was way back when. JJ, thoughts on free agency? Did anything catch you off guard?
Well,
today?
I think he remembers that still to this day.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, all the memories in his career, that's going to be number one.
It's got to be Will Lutz for me. I was shocked by that. We take like these Ian Rappaport / Schefter tweets as gold, like it's as good as gold. If they tweet it out, it's happening. You never see this. You never see a guy who's like, you know what, my wife said she really doesn't want to go to Jacksonville. Or, hey, at the last second, this team actually offered me 3 years. So that one was weird. We came on to the show. I was like, no, Will Lutz, yeah, he played for Denver last year. You're like, no, Will Lutz now plays for Denver again.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the safety, important position to fill, though. Center, huge. I mean, absolutely massive that they got that done. So cheers for Trent for that. But the rest, I'm not like, hey, this is going to put him over the top. I like Gabe Davis. I don't love Gabe Davis as a replacement for Calvin Ridley, if that's what's happening. But, yeah, solid first day. I would say, for Trent Baalke.
I don't love Gabe Davis either. We were talking about it over the last couple of weeks. I mean, the last time we saw Gabe Davis, he was screaming at Buffalo fans. and Buffalo fans like, you don't even know how to run the right route. And I'm thinking, this organization is getting ready to say goodbye to a guy in Calvin Ridley who was not on the same page with Trevor Lawrence. Now you're bringing in a guy who's screaming at Buffalo fans.
I forgot about that.
To me, that's a red flag. But he's back home. He's here in the state. He's right down the road from where he went to college. He's got another opportunity. He picked and he chose to come here. He wasn't selected here, wasn't traded here, he chose Jacksonville. So I'm ready to give him absolutely an opportunity. The two things that stick out for me, I want a big target. Gabe's 6'2". He's not tiny. 6'2", 210, ran a 4.54. 16.7 yards per is very impressive, okay? I mean, every time he catches the ball, not only is he picking up a first down, he's almost picking up 2 first downs for you, okay? 16.7 yards a catch is very impressive. What scares me, though, the guy's only missed 2 football games, and you look at 35 receptions. In 2022, 48. And then this past year, 45. So
on what you consider to be a pretty prolific offense.
And every year Buffalo's like, top 3 or 4 scoring teams in the NFL, right? I have to look that up. Let me find that out real quick. I mean, but Buffalo, statistically speaking, obviously, every year offensively. Let's see. Passing, I want scoring. Can I get scoring? Here we go. Total yards, yeah. It's just amazing to me how they do that. Points per game. Buffalo was 5th this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this year.
And about the same in total yards. They are 4th.
26.5 a game. All right, behind only Dallas, Miami, San Fran, Baltimore, and Detroit. 26.5 points a game. They threw for 4,154 yards. Let me look this up again. I mean, obviously Diggs, and Diggs is great. Diggs will catch about 115 balls a year. Then he and his brother are complaining about it, how he didn't get enough targets. I mean, receptions for this year for Buffalo. Stephon Diggs, 107. Gabe Davis, 45. Okay? All right. Dalton Kincaid had 73. So I'm looking at it per yards here. James Cook out of the backfield had 44.
Yeah, almost as many as Gabe.
Yeah.
Even that rookie, Shakir, almost had as many catches as Gabe Davis this year.
He may end up being
He's like
something
Zay, I think. Don't you think he'll probably just replace Zay Jones?
Well, I thought all along they would cut Zay, but now I think they could cut Zay post June 1st, depending on what they do in the draft. It makes more sense to cut Zay Jones post June 1st than it would be to cut him now. If you were to cut Zay Jones right now, out of his $10,700,000 salary cap figure, you would have $6,569,000 of dead cap money, and you would only recoup $4,183,000. If you were to do this post June 1st, same stuff with Zay Jones, you would only eat $3 million, and you would bring back $7,735,000. So it makes complete sense right now to hang on to Zay Jones because you can bring in $4 million more.
By the time the season starts, though, do you expect him to be here?
All depends on what they do in the draft.
Right.
I think if in the first or second round they go out and get one of these wide receivers, I think that there's a really good chance that Zay Jones could be moved. On the flip side, after what happened here last year, where you lost Zay, you lost Kirk, you lost Jamal Agnew, they're trying to win this year. They may hang on to him for the entire year. See, the only good thing about cutting him would be with that extra money, you could get some future contracts taken care of, like a Tyson Campbell or like a Andre Cisco.
Because by then it'll be too late.
Yeah. So
by June.
We'll see.
By the way, we have a couple more signings right now. Austin Eckler just signed with the Commanders from the Chargers. And then Gus Edwards signs with the Chargers from the Ravens.
Where did Gus go after Miami? Go to Rutgers or something?
No, he went from Rutgers. I think he was at Rutgers and then went to Miami.
Oh, okay. All right. So it continues. There are some big names who have yet to...
Oh, no, he went to Rutgers. You were right. Rutgers after Miami.
He went to Rutgers after Miami?
Yes.
Okay. Daniil Hunter, still available. All right. Obviously, Calvin Ridley, still available. Derrick Henry, still available. Chase Young, available. Leonard Williams is available. DJ Reader is available. So some big names there. New England apparently is really interested in Calvin Ridley. I don't know if they're going to be able to get him, but people are talking about that is, there's a chance that is where he does end up. And no movement at all on Calvin Ridley as we head towards the 7 o'clock hour. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Let's do that. Getting a lot of good stuff coming in, 641-1010. Again, if you want to get on in on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get me on Twitter. That's Ballou1010XL.
I want you to promise me something. I want you to play life just like you played that game today. So when that final buzzer of life goes off, you'll have no regrets.
1010XL.
A new vehicle. Come to Key Buick GMC where we never have markups on our vehicles. In addition, Key Buick GMC is the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. It's a new year. Time to do some service checkups. Key has oil changes specials on most vehicles plus a tire match guarantee. Please check out our service specials at our website. Go to KeyBuickGMC.com. We're always professional grade on the corner of Southside and Gate. KeyBuickGMC.com.
Exciting news from All Pro Roofing. Effective right now, you can get an instant roof quote. Just click the Instant Roof Quote tab on their website. Whether you're in need of roofing, exterior siding, or windows, All Pro Roofing is your local partner for quality craftsmanship. Click the Instant Roof tab and voila! Get an instant quote. It's that simple. Click on the Instant Roof Quote tab today at allproroofingllc.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC.
Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2023 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Busy day for the Jaguars. 4 new members acquired on this Monday. Center Mitch Morse, 2-year contract. Gabe Davis, wide receiver, played 4 years in Buffalo, signs a 3-year deal, played his college football right down the road at UCF. Darnell Savage Jr., maybe the biggest surprise of all. 3 years, only 26 years of age, 69 career starts in Green Bay. It's a $21 million contract. 12.5 of that is guaranteed. Devin Duvernay, a returner, 2 years, $8.5 million. So Duvernay is a young man that can certainly affect things here as far as his skills as a returner. And on the eve, they made the move to get Mac Jones, right? Played here at the Bowl School, former first-round pick in New England. Very surprised by this move. Mac Jones now a backup quarterback along with C.J. Beathard, obviously behind Trevor Lawrence. All right, we'll keep you updated on everything else, and trust me, still all sorts of stories breaking throughout the National Football League. It's a great week here in Jacksonville, certainly with the NFL, and then, beginning Thursday, first round of the Players' Championship. It was good to see at Arnold's tournament over the weekend, finally a top golfer win an event. Scotty Scheffler won for the first time in a year. It's the first time since last June that we've actually had a top 10 golfer win a PGA Tour event. And Scotty Scheffler's problem has been putting. Well, until he changed his club, changed his putter, actually switched from a blade to the mallet model, and they were talking about it an awful lot during the broadcast. He did not miss a putt inside 15 feet all weekend. Think about that. Did not miss one inside 15 feet. He also had 9 straight one putts. Imagine going on and playing a side where you had 9 putts. And that's what Scotty Scheffler did. He picks up $4 million. But, this guy already was ranked number 1 in greens and regulation. He's number 1 in strokes gained approach to green. He's number 1 in strokes gained tee to green. But he was 144th in putting. And obviously he fixed that this past weekend at Arnold's tournament. So Scotty Scheffler, your defending champ, he will be here and get ready for action. Hopefully the weather will do its part. That's basically the only thing you can ask for, right? If the weather behaves, it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal weekend out at the Players' Championship. We'll be out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as well as the weekend. Definitely looking forward to this year at the Players. 43-76, Ballou. Did Calvin overplay his hand? I can only imagine that he thought more suitors, better teams would be calling. Interesting to see what we do with the Lions straight in the corner. We still play for Snead. Yeah, I mean, I don't know with the whole Snead thing. I don't know how they can afford that at this particular point unless you move a major contract. I think the only way you can get yourself a Snead or a T. Higgins and all of these rumors, you'd have to include Cam Robinson in a trade, right? You got to have someone take a sizable chunk away financially if you're adding a huge chunk. And kind of like what Carolina just did with the New York Giants for Brian Burns, you're not bringing in Snead, you're not bringing in Higgins unless you are able to sign them to a 4 or 5 year contract extension for just ungodly amounts of money. And I think the only way you're going to be able to put that together would be to send someone. And that someone would have to be Cam Robinson. I just can't look at anyone else in the roster. I mean, you could trade Walker Little, but Walker Little's not. I mean, Walker Little is $2 million, right? Cam Robinson's $21 million. That was my flip out last week. Is there really that much of a difference between Cam Robinson and Walker Little outside of the $19 million that separates the two? You may say Cam's better than Walker Little. Okay, I'll listen to you there. But he's making $21 a year and Little's making $2 a year? So I think that part of it isn't going to happen. The only way it could happen outside of trading Cam would be if they just totally slashed Cam again and restructured, slash Kirk and restructured, slash Foye Oluokun and restructured. Could they create enough money then? I don't know. But what's it going to take for compensation to get Higgins, to get Snead? These are quality players. Are you going to give up the 17th pick in the draft? The Giants had to give up a second-round pick to get Brian Burns. Could Jacksonville get away by moving their second-round pick? That's pick number 48. Okay, obviously they're not giving it to Atlanta now because Calvin Ridley is a free agent, so number 48 officially remains. We do know that Jacksonville has 17 and number 48. They got the compensatory pick, number 96 overall. In the third round, you got a couple of fourth-round picks, number 115 and 117. So, Jacksonville, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jacksonville's got 5 picks in the top 117. That's pretty good selection. 17, 48, 96, 115, 117. I don't see it, JJ. I don't know how they can make a trade unless it would include Cam Robinson, and that's because of the salary that he takes with him.
Which you would love that.
Yeah.
Get rid of your boy.
I would. Absolutely, I would. I'd be a big fan of it. I just don't think there's that much of a difference between him and Walker Little. Yada, 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 yeah. 14-22 Ballou. I finally feel like I'm a little excited again. Not too much, just a little. I learned my lesson last year. You should be excited. Absolutely, you should be excited. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, this football team added 3 starters today. And at some pretty important positions. Arguably the most important position as far as, if you look at things by default, was center. It was just terrible last year. Jacksonville was 29th in pass block win rate and 28th in run block win rate, according to ESPN Stats and Info. All right, and we do the Pro Football Focus. Not one of these offensive linemen graded higher than 70, and I love it because I'm with you. I mean, you bring me Pro Football Focus, and it's so hard to figure out. I mean, who really knows what goes into Pro Football Focus? I don't. But the grades are terrible. It doesn't matter what source is being used, what statistics are being used, what analytics are being used. Whenever it comes to grading the Jaguars' offensive line, it's terrible. There's no other way to say it. So Mitch Morse, 31 years of age. Okay, here I am gushing about a 31-year-old center. Can you get 2 years out of him? I forget about next year. Can you get him to play this year at a solid level? He was a Pro Bowler in 2022 in Buffalo. Doug Peterson had him for a year in Kansas City when Peterson was the offensive coordinator, and he was drafted that year by Kansas City. This past season, Mitch Morse, 730 pass block snaps, 31 pressures, 1 sack. Pretty decent numbers. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I studied Mitch Morse. If you can find anyone out there who's done that, let me buy them a cocktail because that's very impressive. I don't see it. But it doesn't matter. You needed an upgrade. And they got one there. So that is a good thing. 1176, Ballou. Do you think the Jags making all these moves is a product of poor drafting from the front office? Yes. In a lot of circles, yes. The last 3 drafts, you've had 29 draft picks, right? You've had 5 first-rounders. You've had 16 players selected in the top 4 rounds. How many of those are no longer here? How many of those have flopped? I think what I admire more than anything today with Trent Baalke is by going out and getting Mitch Morse, he's admitted that he made a mistake. And I credit him for that. We all make mistakes. Luke Fortner was a mistake. He was a 3rd-round pick. But you can't, actually, I won't speak for you. But my biggest fear, he was going to walk him back out there because his ego would be involved and he was going to say, get him stronger. He's a 3rd-round pick. My name is on this pick. Make it. And he was told, or he saw it with his own 2 eyes, you have to get better. And he made that move today. So, you become a really good football team by drafting players and then re-signing your draft players. JJ and I were talking about it last hour. I think this second wave of contract money that could open post-June 1st is there for what? I mean, there's 4 guys now that you're going to have to re-sign, right? First guy is Josh Allen. In my opinion, second guy would be Tyson Campbell. Third guy would be Andre Sisco. I think this 3-year deal that came in today with Darnell Savage Jr. doesn't guarantee whatsoever that Sisco is coming back. But I would still put him on my list at number 3. And then number 4 is obviously Trevor. You have until May 2nd. Pick up that 5th-year option. You don't have to do anything with Trevor right now. Told you last week I had a conversation with a couple of different people that told me they do not think they'll pick up that 5th-year option for Travis Etienne. The running back position is so diminished. It's just absurd. Barkley got some money today. That was good to see. What did he get? Like $35 million in Philly. It's not all guaranteed, but you just look at running back money.
26.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's crazy to me because it's still such an important position. The fact that it's just so devalued, though, is just nuts to me.
You can get anyone to play it, so it doesn't matter who you have. Everything we've seen all these running backs moving today, but it's all like sort of old guys who were just going to different teams. None of them are really breaking the bank or making any money. Like, if you make it to the franchise tag as a quarter or running back, that's sort of when you get paid now, is that franchise year. And then you're done.
I found this today. Compliments of Yahoo. 187 NFL players are on multi-year contracts worth 10 plus million annually. Out of 187 NFL players who make at least $10 million, only 5 running backs make 10 plus million. Only 5. I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, and Aaron Jones. Wouldn't Jones cut today? I think they might have cut Jones today. And there's some talk that Nick Chubb could actually end up getting cut as well. So it is. It's a little baffling, but there's just really very little value whatsoever at the running back
We have a
position.
Jag signing.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
Cornerback Ronald Darby, 2 years worth $10 million.
The former Knoll. He's got to be getting up there. He's got to be 30, 31. He was on that national championship team. So I know he was with the Commanders recently. Might have had another stop as well. Ronald Darby. Let's pull him up. Let's see. He's 30. Right.
This will be his 6th team.
Yep. He was originally, what are these things? I hate Paul.
So he was with the Bills, then the Eagles, then Washington, then the Broncos, and last year he was with the Ravens.
Second-round pick in 2015, 50th pick overall by Buffalo. 2 years there, then went to Philly, then went to Washington, Denver, and Baltimore. So he signs moments ago. He's a talented football player back in the day. I find it hard to believe that there's that big of a market for a 30-year-old defensive back. Not classic Trent Baalke as far as, height, about 5'10 and a half, 5'11". Let's see what his arm length is. 31 and 3/8. That comes into much more to play when we're talking about, the 33-inch arms that he wants for his edge guys. A lot of people think that that's why Trayvon Walker was the pick over Aiden Hutchinson 2 years ago. His arms were about 3 inches longer. Ran a 4.38. Yeah, he could fly, no doubt. So, all right, more depth there. Man, they're just doing everything. Ronald Darby, very interesting. That doesn't solidify things. I mean, they're not done. They have to get at least one other corner. And, my money right now out of any position on the board, if you look at number 17, number 48, and number 96, those top 3 picks, defensive, cover corners absolutely on that list. There's no doubt about it. All right, so the very latest there. We got much more to do. Getting a ton that is rolling in as far as your thoughts on the text line and on Twitter. That's Ballou1010XO. Yeah, the Packers did release Aaron Jones. So that whole $10 million contract we just talked about, we're down to 4 now with Aaron Jones let go. And some talk that Nick Chubb, who had that devastating injury, so productive as Nick Chubb. I mean, guy's had a great career. But all of a sudden, there's a little bit of talk that maybe he could be on his way out. All right, we got much more to do. Again, 641-1010 on the text line. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
It's Jacksonville's version of March Madness.
Players Championship.
Catch live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates from the players. Brought to you by
Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. And Roundtree Sod.
On 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Attention golf enthusiasts. Get ready to swing into action at the Rolling Red Pro Golf Tour at Deer Creek Country Club April 10th to the 12th. It's a charity Pro-Am event benefiting the Wounded Warrior Project. Rub shoulders with real touring pros, explore the Outdoor Expo, and indulge in a banquet meal. Want to play alongside a future PGA Tour player? Sign up now at rollingredgolftour.com. Spectators welcome and sponsor packages available. That's rollingredgolftour.com.
Denny Thompson here. Tackle burglars and protect your turf. Give yourself peace of mind catching everything around your home with Tyson Sound & Security's cutting-edge surveillance cameras. For safety and convenience, Tyson has you covered for all home cameras and security systems. I'm talking HD recording, night vision, and remote alerts all from your phone or computer. Call Tyson Sound & Security right now at 904-762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security. Security and automation experts.
Pross, I'm thinking about changing my name.
Again? You're already the media mogul, the straw that stirs the drink, the Duke of Pablo Bay. Now what?
Refer to me as Dreamfinder's Danny Hicken.
What in the blazes? Is this a cash grab?
No, it's just that I believe so much in Dreamfinder's Homes. 20 locations in Northeast Florida, official home builder of Jags and Gators. Great opportunity for first-time homeowners.
All right, Dreamfinder's Danny it is.
Did I mention the lowest interest rates you can find? Visit dreamfindershomes.com. Now let Dreamfinder's Danny celebrate through the majesty of song. Dreamfinders, I believe they will build your home just right.
Choose C for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 11, 1941, Hall of Famer Bronco Nagurski regains the World Wrestling title from Ray Steele after losing a year prior.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234, make the right connection.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Garage getting too full with stuff? Need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Tons of locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access and month-to-month rental agreements. Moving, they can help with supplies. Heading to the Players? Look for the storage locker and free bag check at the Fan Gift Shop courtesy of Atlantic Self Storage. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com to find the location and move-in special closest to you.
Hey, Hicken here. You know I'm a hometown guy. There's nothing like home in Jacksonville, Florida. What a great place to live. Spring is here and everything is green and blooming. But that means I'll have to cut the lawn soon. It also means that we'll need to do some deep cleaning inside the house. That's where Zero Res comes in. Zero Res can clean your towel grout, the carpets, the area rug, furniture, and more. Right now, they're offering 25% off towel grout cleaning. Zero Res, man, spelling forwards or backwards. The right way to clean.
Zero Res.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
If you never saw Zeppelin live, now you can know what it's like. And if you did, relive the magic of Led Zeppelin Live. Get the Let Out is back at Florida Theater March 15th. Get the Let Out. Find out what it felt like to see Zeppelin live. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
At Duck Rooter, we understand plumbing issues can be a real inconvenience for your building or business, and we're here to help. We can handle all kinds of plumbing jobs, including broken pipes, clogged drains, line jetting, installing water heaters, and full repipes. Need a camera inspection or a smoke test? Yes, Duck Rooter does that too. Plus, our lift station services include inspections, monitoring, cleaning, and repairs. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, so the market has been set for Josh Allen. You could thank the New York Giants for that. Giving Brian Burns $87.75 million. $87,750,000 guaranteed, part of his 5-year, $150 million contract. You think the Josh Allen camp would take that right now, 150 over 5? You make the case that Josh Allen's a better football player than Brian Burns. I think you can. Is he going to ask for more? It's going to be like quarterbacks. And when we had that list of quarterbacks, and the next guy up would become the highest paid player. I mean, what's it going to cost to get that done with Josh Allen? That in earlier today, Burns moved from Carolina to New York. Carolina just said, see ya. It's kind of like a Jalen deal. But at least at Jalen, you got first rounders. I mean, a guy who's worth $150 million only cost your organization a 2024 second and a 2025 fifth. That's what the Panthers accepted for Brian Burns. 52-65, Blue. Confident Ridley stays anymore? Absolutely not. I mean, he didn't have any money, especially after this Ronald Darby deal. Now, again, nothing is official till Wednesday. We can't get updates right now on overthecap.com or Spot Track or anything because the league year begins Wednesday. But I don't believe they have any cash. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's going to happen. That'd be my opinion on it. Blue 9404. What's up with Tyler Lacey, Elijah Cooks, Jacob Harris? Do we need to draft the exact same guys again? Well, that's kind of my point. Hopefully you can get something out of Tyler Lacey. He's going to get a real opportunity this year, the former fourth-round pick. There's room there on that defensive line. I spent so much time talking about Elijah Cook and Jacob Harris and those players during camp. They all look good, sizable guys. They weren't targeted. You know, that's size is so important. They have to go after a proven commodity at wide receiver. Okay, you're going to have to address that early if you want to get a big-bodied wide receiver, which is something that absolutely Trevor Lawrence would love to have. He had it in his career at Clemson. He has not had it here. And I'm talking about, reliable big-body wide receivers. So let's see here. Elijah Cooks was targeted 4 times this past year and had 3 receptions. He's 6'4", out of San Jose State. He's only a rookie. He had a nice career. Okay? He had a nice camp, I should say. Tim Jones, 6'1.5", not necessarily a big guy. Who's the other one you mentioned here? Jacob Harris, I don't even think was targeted last year. Let's see. He wasn't. So, all this talk about the big wide receivers kind of falls on deaf ears. They didn't go to him 4 times all year. That was the case. So they're going to have to go out and get something done in the draft in order for that to take place. 1947 Blue, like the moves with the Jags so far. Hopefully sign Allen soon. Have a couple of other restructured contracts. Add a couple of more pieces. Cam, a 3rd and a 5th for Higgins or Snead. Love it. Where do I sign? You're giving up some serious capital there. I don't know if you can, I was going to say, I don't know if you can trust 5th-round picks, but they happen to think that Antonio Johnson's going to be a pretty good 5th-rounder, right? The jury's out on that. Higgins or Snead. I'd rather have Higgins for the reasons that I just gave you, a true big-body wide receiver. But you're also going to have to come up with a ton of cash. 4468 Gabe Davis from Fernandina Beach, hometown guy. Yeah, and he picked it. He wanted to come back home. So that's good news. Welcome back, JJ, Rick, yada, yada, yada. I know they didn't have any legal timbering back in the day, but we don't have more Puerto. Does it happen a lot? Legal tampering is kind of a long-winded one. Absolutely, it happens. The problem is are you going to get caught? And that's why they created this. I mean, they changed the method of the madness because everyone was doing it, right? It was a wink, wink. A lot of conversations began at the combine when agents would be there with the incoming kids into the NFL, obviously even college, but you would get with those agents and discuss pending free agents, and that's the reason why they created this, and it ended up making a whole heck of a lot of sense. So, as guys down on me a little bit, thinks I'm hard on Gabe. Watch a lot of Bills, got him tough matchup, very physical. Listen, I remember that incredible playoff game that he was a part of when Buffalo knocked off Kansas City. It's not that I'm down on them. I look at the numbers and I'm like, they don't blow you away. Hey, let me say this. And this is fair. If you look at Christian Kirk and Zay Jones before they got here and then after they got here and what they did, it's pretty impressive. Now, unfortunately, the two both were injured during the 2023 season. But I remember sitting in this chair a couple of years ago, like, Zay Jones, he was in Buffalo and then he was with the Raiders. Why are they paying him? I mean, like Christian Kirk, wasn't he like the third wheel when, Fitzgerald was still there in Arizona? And all of a sudden they came here, they put up much better numbers. So, I look at Gabe Davis and I'm like, wow, man, 45 receptions. That's the most he's ever had in a year. And he's been healthy. I mean, he's played 16, 15, 7. He's missed, because in 2022 there was 17 games. He's missed 2 games. He's played 64 out of 66 games. So he's very reliable. But you can do the math, man. I mean, 64 games, 163 receptions. What is that, 2.5 a game? I don't know. You're going to spend that. I mean, hopefully you get more here, but Josh Allen and that Buffalo offense was pretty good, wasn't it? Giving you just over 2 receptions a game. I mean, it's like, I feel like if I come in here on a Monday and the Jaguars lose and the statistics for Gabe Davis are, 2 receptions for 40 yards, that's not going to be enough. His average per is sensational at 16.7. And it's been consistent. 17-1, 15-7, 17-4, 16-6. It's been very consistent. That's the best part of his game. He obviously has the ability to stretch defenses, or he has the ability to make tacklers miss. This doesn't have yak on it. We know that was just terrible for Calvin Ridley. Where Calvin Ridley caught the football was where the ball was going to remain, right? He wasn't going to get any yards after the catch. All right, here we go. Gabe Davis, 45 receptions, 746 yards. His yards after catch was 180. Not bad. Not bad. Let's, before I take this break, just to kind of compare, let's look at, I don't want to do that. Where you taking me? Let's look at the Jaguars real quick and their yards after catch. It's frankly, it's something that is not talked about nearly enough. It's very important. Okay. What did we say? 45 receptions, 180 yards. in yak for Gabe Davis? Well, here's Calvin Wrigley, 76 catches. Yak, 194. Okay? Evan Ingram had 516. That's his role. Kind of the underbelly stuff. You would expect a lot of yak yardage out of him. You would also expect a lot of yak yardage out of Travis Etienne. He gave you 517. Christian Kirk gave you 247 on his 57 receptions. That's really impressive for Christian Kirk. All right, we got final thoughts coming up. We'll take you up until 8 o'clock tonight. Hackett will join you then. Looking forward this week to being out at the Players' Championship. Should be a great week out there at Sawgrass. A lot of golf coverage coming up later in the week, no doubt about it. But for tonight, we stay with free agency and the very latest on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Reflecting the passion of Jags fans. This is 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Did you hear what's happening? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are spring cleaning. New inventory on the ground means we need to make more room. Take advantage of huge savings on thousands of vehicles priced to sell. New and pre-owned prices have been reduced and all sales associates have been instructed to give maximum value on all trades. But you better hurry, the best deals go first. Head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to take advantage of our spring cleaning sale. We're here to wow you.
It's time, basketball bettors. It's March Mania. Hicken here to tell you about BetUS.com. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, BetUS. They've been driving to the basket for 30 years. This year, BetUS has an epic three-pointer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Yep, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started. Visit BetUS.com or give them a call, 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's March basketball. That means a host of top teams will be competing for the NCAA title. When it comes to commercial painters, there's also some healthy competition out there. Jason Parker with Performance Painting. To help you know the right questions to ask any painter competing for your business this year, visit performancepaintingjacks.com. Or if you're ready for a friendly quote, give us a call and ask about our free pressure wash promotion for your next project. Performance Painting, quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
This is Ellen Darley of Darley's Plumbing. As a family business, our reputation rests on decades of satisfied customers and their referrals. So for any size plumbing job, call Darley's Plumbing for a free estimate today. darleysplumbing.com.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
For Canine Veterans Day, Navy Mutual would like to salute all active and retired canines that have served our country. Canine Veterans Day has been officially designated as a day to honor these unique members of our military. America salutes you.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I had another aha moment last week when walking through the grocery store. I stood in the aisle and laughed out loud while looking at what I used to buy. And that's an overlooked but critical benefit of Awaken 180 weight loss. It changes the way you look at food. You embrace the good and avoid the bad, because both your mind and body are reshaped using the program Mike Dempsey and I have had so much success with. I lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss, and it begins and ends with a program that encourages you to eat. That's right, eat 6 times a day. Awaken 180 weight loss also gives you a personal coach who helps you through the process and has answers to every possible question because they've succeeded with the program too. They make sure you stay the course and reach your weight loss goals, and here's the key, keep it off for life. Get your initial consultation on the calendar this month and get ready to change your life with a proven plan that more than 20,000 have successfully used. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free support for life. Reserve online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather starting to turn for the better, look ahead. Get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are best in the business. If you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 9 or more select premium foam flooring underlayment. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, latest signing for the Jaguars, Ronald Darby, a 2-year deal. 10-year veteran, a guy who's played, obviously at Florida State on the other side of P.J. Williams. A real cover corner back in the day, ran a 4.38. He's gone through a couple of torn ACLs. He's played outside. He's played inside. My guess right now is that'll be depth. That'll be an opportunity for him to be perhaps your starting nickel. He'll battle Antonio Johnson for that position. I think a lot of us had Johnson in as the safety, replacing Rayshon Jenkins, but with the Darnell Savage signing, that means Johnson is now a nickel. So some competition there with Darby, and maybe the guy who doesn't win it becomes the dime. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that Darby can't compete to try to win the under cornerback position, but I have to believe that is what Jacksonville will address in either the first or second round of the NFL draft. Have to believe that. So, Ronald Darby added to the list. He joins Mitch Morse, Gabe Davis, Darnell Savage Jr., and Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay, for what it's worth, 26 years of age, 5'11", 202 pounds, 5th year. He's a third rounder out of Texas. 2 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro as a returner. And a couple years ago, wide receiver, 37 receptions, 407 yards. Reminds me a tiny bit of Jamal Agnew when they acquired him from Detroit. Although if I look back and if I remember, I want to say Agnew had more carries in Detroit than receptions in Detroit. Jamal Agnew not going to be a part of the plan here in 2023. Hey, Tiger Woods isn't coming. We know. It was just nothing was said. And I think there's 9 former champions who will be playing at the Players beginning on Thursday. That includes Scotty Scheffler, who, of course, won last year, also won yesterday, picked up $4 million, but was just phenomenal with the flat stick. One of the better putting performances that we've seen in quite some time. I saw this on Tiger, and it just absolutely blew me away as to how incredible this man actually was at one point. from 1999 to 2009, Tiger Woods won 34% of the events that he entered. We're talking about winning, not top 5, not top 10, not top 10, winning events. 34% from 1999 to 2009. It gets better. 32% of the events, he finished 9th or worse. Okay? Over a 10-year stretch, Tiger was more likely to win than to finish 9th or worse. Did you hear that, JJ? 32% of the time, 9th or worse. 34% of the time, he won the event that he entered. We'll never see anything like this again. And unfortunately, I think it's a huge blow that he's not going to be here this week.
I don't think he'd be very good.
Yeah, but he's still a draw. Still a draw.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just tired of him, going out and giving up after a day. I'm over it. The Tiger thing, I'm done with it. He's not going to win anything again. The 2019 Masters was great, but it's over, and I've accepted that.
All over for Eldrick. All right, here come the restructures. The Bills are restructuring Josh Allen's contract. You knew it was only a matter of time before this stuff would start happening, and that's a way to create millions and millions of dollars. So I think many more of those type of things will actually take place. Really, outside of Jacksonville, really the biggest story of the day was Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. I just wonder openly, if you look at the 4 teams that made these quarterback moves today, who's better, right? Baker stays in Tampa, and he got $100 million. It's not all guaranteed, but is that enough where, Baker Mayfield in Tampa all of a sudden is a team that you feel more confident about as far as making a run? Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, again, I think he'll put up phenomenal numbers. It just feels like Atlanta's always got problems, right? I mean, is anyone out there within that division now going to pick Atlanta to make a significant run? Russell Wilson at Pittsburgh, that one is the one that probably interests me the most because a lot of people now believe that the career is over for Russell Wilson. I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, the guy won a Super Bowl. He should have won 2 Super Bowls. You look at his numbers; they're impressive, and I still think he's going to add, quite a bit to his yardage and to his touchdowns. And again, how about Gardner Minshew today, getting $25 million to play in Las Vegas? That is simply impressive. There's really no other way to say it. So happy that happened today for Gardner Minshew. The guy seems like it's a year here, a year there, but he just keeps hanging on, and now he finally got paid. All right, a couple more before we bring in Hacker. 52-62. Ballou, do you really think Ballou will try to bundle picks to try to move up on a spot? I don't understand this. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to get at there. 44-68. Blue, I read that Darby was a really good slot corner in college. Some say he was misused in Green Bay. Played slot corner in college. He also played cover corner in college. Jalen was a safety, Joyner as well, and he was on the edge. He was sensational. He ran a 4.38. 37-67. Donia Mitchell or Brian Thomas for big body guys. Maybe Xavier Leggett. He's 6'3", physical. Well, my conversation earlier tonight with Aaron Beasley. What's more important at this point, if you're not selecting it at 17, is it big body or is it speed? Obviously, if you have a combination of them both, they're probably going to be gone before 17, right? He mentioned Johnny Wilson a couple of times. Wilson actually ran really well. I'll tell you who's going to drop a lot. That's Keon Coleman because he didn't run well. Now, Florida State's going to have another pro day. He'll have an opportunity there maybe to respond somewhat. And from my understanding is that Jaguar scouts are are out west. Both Oregon State today and Oregon tomorrow. That's certainly much more about the offensive line. But I think that is twofold. Trevor Lawrence, I would love to see him get a big-time wide receiver, big as far as stature. And this appears to be a really good wide receiver class. The two positions that Jacksonville, I believe, will be going after right out of the gate, wide receiver and cornerback, you're going to get a really good football player there at 17. You are. And I would think they're going to get a really good one at 48 as well. My guess right now would be that that's what they're going to do. Corner and wide receiver or corner. I think the other part of all this equation would be, another big body at defensive tackle. I got to believe that is part of what they are looking at as well.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
All right, Hack, how you doing, young man?
Busy day today.
Yeah, been a great day.
I think it has been. I'm very, very pleased with what the Jaguars have accomplished, even going back to yesterday and certainly today.
Anything catch you off guard?
The Gabe Davis thing was nice, and the idea that's at least being floated out there that's more of a Zay Jones situation than Calvin Ridley. And the further we go with Ridley, who really knows? I would tend to doubt he's coming back because I don't think the Jaguars have any more money at this point. They'd have to do some restructuring. But can you imagine a 3-wide set with Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Gabe Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. But even so, Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne. Maybe you draft somebody in the second or third round. That's still pretty good.
Anything they didn't do?
Interior defensive line.
Yeah.
Interior defensive line to me. That's why I think we're going to see, DeJuan Smoot coming back on a veteran minimum deal or something. You got to get some big uglies on the interior defensive line. You got to replace Fatukasi, and you need to upgrade with the depth there. And that's something that still is a big, big thing on my radar.
Yeah, they need bodies. They brought back Jeremiah Ledbetter. They liked him. They think that year 2 with Tyler Lacey is going to be able to help out. But, I don't think either one of those two really excites our listeners. Right now, I have to believe with their top 3 picks, it's cornerback, wide receiver, defensive tackle. That'd be the 3 positions for me.
Yes. Ronald Darby doesn't move the needle all that much, although it moves the needle. You know what I always like to do, Rick, and you alluded to it? I like to go to the opposing team's message boards to see what the fans are saying. Baltimore fans tonight are not happy about losing Ronald Darby. For a 30-year-old corner, you think, all right, well, at least Baltimore wanted him back. That's a passionate fan base, knows a little bit about football. That's good enough for me to seem like that was a pretty good signing at this late hour.
Well, he's a guy who was a corner and shut down the field, coming, at Florida State, coming out of Florida State, and then, he tears a couple of knees, but he has experience playing inside and outside. You look at Savage, I didn't know a lot about him. I've been doing some reading as a safety. He's also been in the slot. So we wonder about this Ryan Nielsen type of defense and, how it's going to vary. It kind of feels like the odd man out here all of a sudden is Antonio Johnson. Last week we had him plugged in at safety. Then earlier today we had him plugged in at nickel. Now it's like, hey, he's competing for a job because I think Savage takes the safety, and Ronald Darby is absolutely going to be competing for that nickel position.
Yeah, I agree. And Luke Fortner is obviously an odd man out on the line, although I believe he'll be on the roster. And you look all of a sudden at the O-line, assuming, Rick, it's Cam Robinson, Ezra Cleveland, Mitch Morse, and then Brandon Sheriff and Anton Harrison, and then your backups are Walker Little, Luke Fortner, Blake Hance, Cooper Hodges. Got some depth, right, on the offensive line. I'm not sure how many teams have 2 guys on their O-line bench that have started as many games as Walker Little and Luke Fortner.
Interesting points. Probably the end of Tyler Shatley.
Probably, yeah.
Moody's been here 9 years, 10 years.
Oh, gosh, he was here. Was he here for the last year of Gus?
Yeah.
He was here, Gus Bradley, Doug Marrone, Urban Meyer, Doug Peterson. He's been here a long time.
No surprise in Marrone. He got the kind of the front office gig. He'll be in charge of research and what have you at BC with his old buddy Bill O'Brien, of course, their wives were together at Boston College as roommates, and that's how Doug Marrone met his wife through Bill O'Brien and his wife. So a pretty good gig there for them going back to Boston. All right, what's coming up?
Yeah, we're going to go to Buffalo. My guy Sal Capaccio, WGR Radio and the Bills Radio Network. We're going to talk Mitch Morse. We're going to talk Gabe Davis with Sal Capaccio. We'll also go to New England. Zach Cox, a longtime Patriots reporter, will come on to talk about the Mac Jones trade from yesterday. It's going to be all Jaguars. Obviously, if anything happens tonight, we'll certainly let you know here on Hacker After Dark.
There you go. That's Hacker Nation. Have a great show, and that'll do it for us right here on this Monday. I don't check the text line out. The show's over. You can always get me on Twitter or X. That's Blue1010XL. Thank you to Aaron Beasley for joining us tonight. Tomorrow night after Helmets and Heels, rest of the week 6 to 8, out live from the 2024 Players Championship. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. Thank you to you as well. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow night right here on your home of the Jags.
That goes to whoever gets closest to the actual retail price without going over. John, we're going to start with